Hey folks, happy Friday and happy Mother's Day to all you beautiful moms out there. One of the most beloved Christmas hymns that we sing every year is Away in a Manger. And the second verse says, "The cattle are lowing, the baby awakes, but little Lord Jesus no crying he makes." Now, of course, this is speculative, and it's a beautiful sentiment, but frankly, it's not very good theology because the Bible teaches us that Jesus was fully human as he was fully God. And of course, fully human babies cry when something wakes them up. And so Mary, in this scenario, would do what mothers have been doing throughout the ages. She would get up, she would comfort her son, she would nurse him back to sleep, and likely glower at her husband, wondering why they're sleeping amidst a bunch of cows in the first place. Now, add to that, Herod, the king, issued this terrible edict that all the baby boys from 2 and under, born in Bethlehem, are to be killed because he has heard that Messiah has been born there, and he sees Messiah as a threat to his throne. So now this family becomes a refugee family, fleeing Bethlehem to Egypt. And add to that, the fact that many classic theologians believe that Jesus' brothers and sisters were the children of Joseph from a previous marriage. His wife had died, and the Bible neither affirms or denies it. So this could potentially be, you can imagine this could be a fairly large family who have become refugees and are fleeing to Egypt with all of the chaos and the frustration and the fear and the anxiety that would come with that. Now, flash forward a few years. Jesus is 12 years old. Him and his family are living in Galilee, and they traveled to Jerusalem, which was about 70 miles south, to celebrate the Passover like any good Jewish family would. And as the family is preparing to leave, Jesus stays behind. And note that it's his decision to make. And so as the family is returning to Galilee, they realize that Jesus is missing, and they have to turn around and come back. And so if you've ever done that as a parent, you know the guilt and the anxiety and fear that creates. And to make matters worse, when they get back to Jerusalem, it takes them another 3 days to find Jesus. And when they finally do, he's teaching in the temple, and everybody's amazed. But Mary is clearly a little frustrated and irritated because she asks Jesus, "Why did you do this to your family?" And Jesus kind of brings this mild rebuke to her. He says, "I have to be about my Father's business." Now, Mary clearly understands that Jesus is the Son of God. That has been divinely revealed to her. But he's also her 12-year-old son who just rebuked her. So clearly there's going to be some frustration there. Now, flash forward several more years. Jesus is a grown man. He's in the full throat of his ministry. He's saying some controversial things, and he's teaching in Galilee in a room filled with people. And his mother and his brothers want to get in, come into the room, so they're knocking on the door. And his brothers don't believe that he's the Messiah. In fact, John says that they had tried to provoke him into giving up all of this Son of God foolishness. So maybe that gives us a sense of the tone of his brothers wanting to come into that meeting. Somebody tells him that his family is outside, and Jesus beckons to the audience and says, "This is my mother. These are my brothers. These are my sisters." Now, you can only imagine the kind of emotion that this would evoke in Mary, and I can't imagine. I can only imagine her thinking, "Jesus, what are you saying? I gave birth to you. I nursed you. I raised you. How can you call these strangers your mother?" Now, folks, I'm not suggesting that there was tension between Jesus and Mary. The Bible is very clear that Mary loved Jesus. She revered him. She believed that he was the Son of God. And there's no mistake about that. But I am suggesting that although Jesus was without sin, Mary was a normal human mom and would have felt all of the things that normal human moms feel. She would feel anxiety, fear, shame, remorse, guilt. She would feel frustration. She would feel sorrow, certainly when Jesus was crucified. But she would also feel love and joy and hope and peace because she believed that her son was the Messiah. So moms, you've been cooped up with your kids now for 7 or 8 weeks, and you are certainly feeling all of those things, and you're probably ready to punch your kids to the curb by now. But if you're feeling some of these things, give yourself a break, encourage yourself, because if Mary, the gold standard of mothers, felt all of these things, it certainly is okay for you to feel them too. Turn to Jesus, experience his love, his peace, and all the blessing that his word promises us, and know that we love you very much. Happy Mother's Day. Thank you for watching. If this has encouraged you some, give this video a like and a share, and as always, get out there and make the world a better place, because you are in it. Talk to you again soon.